Dave Brailsford's first mountaintop finish is behind us, and everybody now says that Geraint Thomas is the favourite.
Yeah. It's a fickle thing, isn't it, really? And we all kind of all swing, don't we, on the last little bit of information that we get, and which is, I guess, part of the fun of it, really. But equally, I think on the other hand, it's like a very demanding effort that last minute of the race yesterday, and to be able to do what he did, I think you've got to have good condition to be able to do that. And so I think it was and also he'd have liked it to have been harder on the last climb. He didn't find the last climb hard at all, so I think they're all good signs, really. I prefer to be in that situation than not, so we know not to get overexcited and not to read too much into it. But on the other hand, it was nice it was a nice performance and gave him and the team actually a lot of self-belief. So I think it's important as much for all of the team riders and his teammates to see that. They're like, wow, gee, and they were happy, so happy for Egon as well. So it lifts everybody.
So basically nothing's changed at Team Ineos. You still have the two designated leaders.
Well, honestly, I think the kind of two scenarios here. There's one which is what happens in our bus as a little team, and there's only a little group of us, and we're pretty tight, and the riders are very, very tight, and we know exactly kind of what we're doing and how we're trying to do it, and we don't have this kind of 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. It just doesn't. That discussion doesn't happen. It's we kind of know what we're trying to do. But outside, of course, everybody speculates about these time differences and what we might be doing, which is fair enough. But there's no issue whatsoever, really, in terms of how the team's kind of managing where we are, particularly going into the next phase, which will be hopefully hard. A couple of hard, tomorrow and the next day, right? Wow, they're hard. And then we get down into the Pyrenees, and then we can do that block in the Pyrenees, time trial, and then we'll have a better idea where we're at, I think.
The fact that yesterday's stage wasn't ridden flat out the whole day, does that mean that we shouldn't jump to conclusions?
Possibly. I think you can only. I don't think you can guess these things. I think you can only take what you saw and analyse what you actually saw, not what you think you didn't see. And it's easy to speculate about all of these things. And I think certainly when we're caught up in, and when we're caught in this type of environment, where everybody, it's fun to speculate, isn't it? It's fun to think about, what if this, what if that, what if the other. But I try to avoid that, really, and trying to work on facts. What did happen? How were we? What were we going to do? And trying to be a bit more analytical about it than get caught up in the speculative emotion, really, which is a bit boring. But I suppose that's.
I understand facts. Yeah. What did you learn about the competition yesterday? Because everybody now, of course, will say Pinot, Fuglsang. Those are the guys.
Yeah, well, I think Pinot finished strongly, didn't he, to be fair to him, and I think he knew the climb, and I think he gauged his effort very, very well. And I think he's looked sharp since the start of the race. He looked sharp in Dauphiné, so I think he's definitely in good condition and somebody to be very, very mindful of. And with the season Jacob's had, you've got to be very, very mindful of him too. But I thought Nairo finished quite well, and I don't think you can rule anybody. It was interesting that Landa went long, but he always likes to go long. And that Valverde worked too early. I thought that was interesting, because I think there was a bit of me somewhere thinking, he's such a brilliant rider, and that kind of steep finish, you never know with him. It wouldn't have surprised anybody, I don't think, to see him come, romping up there. But he worked for the team early, which was quite a clear sign of his role. And apart from that, I wouldn't really read too much into it, I don't think, just